All right. Oh, perfect. Here we go. We getting it. All right. Let's get ready. I'm sorry, y'all. This is my first time doing live on here. Don't be mad at me. I got 1 minute anyway to get everything right. Okay, so y'all see the topic. Oh, the blood. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so the first live that I had started, I don't know what happened with that because, again, guys, it's my first time going live, okay? So today the topic is fake friends, real lessons. How God uses betrayal to elevate you. Thank you so much, Pure Spirits, for tuning in to the first episode of my podcast. Um, and today we are going to be getting into a lot of things. So, have you ever been through a season where people were just doing you wrong, betraying you, all kind of things, and you wanted to react a certain way, you wanted to be petty, but instead you just gave it to God and you move forward. And when you move forward, God elevated you into a better position, even better than some of the people who did you wrong, but just elevating you in life overall, right? Um, the reason why I wanted to touch on this topic today is because there are a lot of young ladies who can relate to me, and I wish that when I was younger, there was someone I could have looked at on YouTube, even young men, because my husband says that he went through the same thing. There are a lot of people who, you know, feel like, oh, nah, they're not going to play with me. I'm going to crash out, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. But if it was not for God really talking in my ear and telling me, hey, just let it go, you know what I'm saying? And me just being obedient, there are certain blessings that I have right now that I would not have if I would have crashed out. And that's the whole point of this entire life, right? Um, I'm gonna tell you guys about two scenarios in my personal life that, if I didn't walk away from these situations and decided not to be petty, I'm outside y'all in nature, so don't pay the cards no mind. If I did not walk away from these situations and gave it to God and decided not to be petty, that those things could have cost me very big blessings that I have in my life right now, that the people who put me in those positions, they don't even have those things today. So let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys, whoever's new to the Pure Spirit family, for tuning in. And thank you for everybody that's already been rocking with me, that's a part of the Pure Spirit family. Again, this content is for pure spirits only. Okay? So, in this first scenario, I had met a girl through one of my homeboys when I used to be in the hood in Brooklyn hanging out or whatever. And we used to go to his backyard every day, all of us, right? Now, this particular day I went there was a new person there that I've never seen before, which was his neighbor, but she's never been out there before. From the moment I met her, God gave me a discernment that that's someone that I should stay away from. So that first night, I didn't talk to her, right? The next day, I came back over there because that's somewhere that I've been used to going for some time now. I kind of split it up. I had friends that live up the street. I'll be with them sometimes. Sometimes I'll be with my friends down the street. But through the whole block, I had friends, right? So I go there the next day, and there's another girl there, and this girl's energy is actually slightly nicer towards me. So I let her know. I'm like, hey, you look very nice. She's like, oh, thank you so much. You look very pretty too. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And then we got to talking a little bit. That's when I realized she was actually with the other girl. So then now I'm just feeling a little uncomfortable because I already felt her energy, right? But me being me, I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. And things went really left after that because she actually ended up inviting me out another time after that with another girl who I met for the first time. And while we were out hanging out at my friend's house again, um, they started trying to be extremely hostile and aggressive towards me in a conversation about Nicki Minaj, which I don't understand. Like, I've been a barb for a long time, but it's not that serious. I feel like if you want to physically get, out of character with somebody, it has to be for something serious. That's honestly what I believe. I don't believe in just fighting. Like, I don't even believe in fighting my friends or my family. I just rather just never talk to you ever again. If we have to fight, it's no coming back from that. You know what I'm saying? So, they put me in a position where I felt like they were gonna jump me, and I had to kind of leave because I was like, I'm not gonna put myself in a position to be jumped, but you know, I'm gonna get them each one by one. That was my mentality at the time. So after that, now time had passed a little bit, and she actually ended up trying to put me in some he say she say, which I don't think she had remembered that everything that I said to her and to the other person, I was forthcoming about it. That even when we all ended up getting into it about that, they both had to admit that I said what I said to the both of them. So they didn't really have a good reason to argue with me or have an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? Um, Thanks, whoever just joined. You can, I'll post the whole clip later just in case, but it was just really weird. And in that moment she was like, um I felt like how you was moving was not genuine, and I was just like, that's just weird for you to say because God's given me discernment about you from from the very first day that I met you. So I'm not surprised at how these events turned out. You're not someone that's ever liked me, so I'm honestly good on this friendship as a whole. Like, I'm really good. And I think that you know, she put me in a position where now, remember how I told you guys that she was actually putting me in a position where before they could have jumped me, now she's by herself. And when I asked her if she needed that, she didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that was good enough because, I'm the same whether I'm in a group or by myself. So I was just like, yeah, I don't even want friends like that. So long story short, I really ended up cutting her off, and she actually sent her boyfriend around me and my friends a couple weeks after I cut her off because I didn't stop going over there because yeah, like my heart doesn't beat punk ever. Sorry, so I'm still gonna show up just so that y'all know that y'all didn't run me out of nowhere and that y'all are all weird and I see y'all, and God is gonna deal with y'all. I was gonna crash out, but then I was like, you know what? God told me to chill. God got something better for me, right? Guys, I kid you not. I kept coming back over there, like I said, right? Then, on top of me still going back over there, I was not, talking with her when she sent her boyfriend to come and try to make amends. My homeboys who were with me told him straight up, like, yeah, Diamond doesn't want to do no talking with her. Diamond's not friends with her. Like, she wasn't good to Diamond, basically. And the boyfriend was like, oh man, y'all still not talking? And then I just looked at him like, well, yeah, I don't talk to girls that are jealous of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's never been a thing that I thought was okay. From I realized that you're jealous of me, we don't have anything to talk about. So I kept going over to the neighborhood. Do you guys know that I actually ended up reconnecting with a previous boyfriend who is now my husband, who I have a child with, who is the best relationship that I've ever had in my entire life. Like, provides for me, protects me, takes care of me, loves everything about me, um, is team me all the way against anyone, anytime, any place. And it's not no talking with my husband. Like, he's really team me. And he's a God fearing man. So I'm just so thankful that if I would have crashed out, I would have had to stop going over there because, you know, they were looking for me, y'all. They were looking for me. But I gave it to God, and God elevated me where, you know, those same girls, I ended up hearing that their relationships didn't work out. Things were going really bad for them with other friends. Like things just started going straight downhill for them after what they did to me, and things in my life just kept getting better and better. I ended up moving to Georgia, getting property with my mom. My husband and I actually reconnected, of course, and throughout that time, you know, we kept contact and we lost contact. We got contact again, and then he ended up moving out here. We had our baby, and then we got married, and we're still together, and we have a lot of different things that we are having in emotions together, right? So the point is that, you know, if you are someone that feels like, man, they're just gonna get away with what they're doing to me, you know, if you really are a pure spirit and you believe in God, that's something that you shouldn't believe. Okay? You should never believe that somebody is gonna get away with what they did to you. And not that you have to wish bad on anyone. God sees everything. If you truly believe in God, you know that He's not gonna let that slide. He's not going to let that slide. He's going to circle the block for you, and he's going to elevate you in front of these people who tried so hard to bring you down, right? So, moving on to the next story. I had a very long friendship with somebody, and when I got married, things changed drastically in this friendship. Um, and it's just so crazy because this was God just showing me that this is why you don't get in between people's marriages, because what God put together no man could put asunder, right? And this is why you don't be in competition with your friends, and you don't be jealous of your friends, okay? These are real lessons that I've learned from having fake friends, and God elevated me after those betrayals. So in that situation, this girl was coming around me. I had just had a baby, so you know I had gained weight from postpartum and stuff like that. Trying to make backhanded comments about my weight after my baby. Um, and I had to check her because it was just so funny to me that this girl was trying to find a way to body shame me when I had a baby, when she had gotten to the point where she kind of let herself go. It just was because of life. It wasn't because of a baby, you know? So I let her know that. And I thought that it was extremely weird. And that is what kind of made me keep my eye on her for making a comment about my weight after postpartum. Like, I just thought it was weird, especially from someone who's supposed to be one of my dearest friends, you know? So that was God. That was the first red flag God showed me. God was like, yeah, you need to keep an eye on her. She's jealous of you. Even that same weekend, I think my husband actually told me too that he caught her looking at me in this weird way. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the saying called evil eye. When you're not looking and you catch somebody looking at you with a certain face of disgust, it's because they're either wishing bad on you due to insecurity or jealousy or just evilness. Some people are just evil, you know. So um, and then not only did she do that, that was just the one out of three very extreme red flags for me. The next one was there was someone who had spoken very negatively about her who I had already had issues with for doing a lot of other grimy things to me that she was still in contact with. And I thought that was extremely weird. So I kind of kept my eye on her for that. And then she would again make backhanded compliments about me, but then uplift this same person who I've defended her against, you know? So I was just like, yeah, I have to watch her, you know, and then just dealing with someone who you know through me and who I defended from talking about you, who I no longer talk to because of what she said about you, to me just gave snake, hater, jealousy. And I just didn't want anything to do with that. I was like, yeah, this girl doesn't have good intentions for me. I'm going to have to cut her off. Like, she's a snake, period. Hanging out with my enemies is never okay for me. It could be okay for some people, but if you know the person after meeting me, through me, I think that's a red flag. If you and them already had a relationship, I can't say anything about that. That's my rules with it, right? That's my rules with my friends. If you already have a relationship with someone, cool. And I met you and them being friends, I can't say anything about them if me and them fall out. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't want to be cool with me, we don't have to be cool. I honestly don't care. Like, I don't do that because I feel like middlemen is how people's business get out with their enemies. Like, and I don't like that. But if you meet someone like this girl I'm speaking about through me, who was my friend, and then you guys all of a sudden became friends, and then now you're like trying to be neutral when they've done me wrong, I just think that's weird. And you can't call yourself my best friend or my close friend or none of that. You could be my acquaintance, but you cannot call yourself my best friend or none of those things and be hanging out with my enemies. That's not what best friends do. So yeah, that was a second red flag. The third red flag, you guys, was the fact that when I started with this content that I make right now, um, whenever I would talk to her about God and praying, she didn't want to hear it. She brushed it off. And when she would see me make videos about God, all of a sudden she'll be try to copy what I'm doing. And I just thought that was extremely weird and hypocritical whenever I try to talk to you and pray with you, you don't want to talk about God. You get what I'm saying? So it's just giving like you're trying to steal my personality. You're trying to be me, but you can't fully emulate that because you're just copying what you see me do. You get what I'm saying? And then the fourth red flag was I actually had got into it with my husband about something, and I shared with her, like one of the things that was said in our back and forth. And it was something extremely small, and when I told her that my husband and I prayed through it and worked through it, she was like, oh, you're going to talk back to him after what he said. And I'm just like, he didn't call me out of my name. He was upset, but it's just like I just felt like it wasn't coming from a genuine place. And this person had recently gotten a divorce. So to try to give me bad advice because you're single now, to me was just weird. Whenever I thought that me and my husband weren't going to work out, I never ever gave anyone who came to me advice for them to leave their relationship because I needed company because of my misery. You get what I'm saying? So, I just think that that is extremely weird. And for me, that was just it right there. And I gave her distance. I didn't react to her stories. I didn't like any of her posts. I just withdrew myself and I prayed about it because I felt like I've addressed this situation with her with different things many times, but she was showing me a consistent pattern of not being my friend. And if you're going to show me that you're not my friend, I'm going to believe you. You get what I'm saying? So when I realized, when that full discernment kicked in after the fourth red flag, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm really good on this whole relationship, on this friendship, on everything. Like, I'm good. And after I pray about it, I'm going to give her some time to come back. Because it's like, it's one of those things that you say where you overstepped. And my thing is, I'm not going to reach out to you to tell you to apologize or any of that. So the time limit came for me where I was like, you know what? This ain't gonna work for me no more. I started my Pure Spirits Only YouTube channel. I was probably 3 months in. I was getting a lot of subscribers on my channel, and I was just posting my content every day. And then one day I woke up and she had removed me and my mom off social media. And I was like, oh wow, okay, cool. That's great for me, because you already showed me that you weren't my friend. So you being here was just like you being a monitoring spirit, because she was watching my stories every day, not liking any of my content posts, not liking any of my regular posts, just like monitoring what I'm doing. And then I think I had texted her before she had removed me and I didn't get any response, just to see, if her energy was going to be off via text. And I didn't get a response, and then she was still watching my story. So I was like, you know what, I'm good. So when she actually ended up removing herself, I actually continued, of course, with my channel. I continued speaking about how, when people have a guilty conscience about the things that they do behind your back, they can't see you shine, which is exactly what happened, and I'm just thankful that, it was smooth like that, because I don't know what conversation we would have had other than an argument about all of the snake and fake things that she was doing that I caught on to. You get what I'm saying? Um, and I addressed it one time with the whole hanging out with my enemies type of thing, but the answer was very oh, we're just cool, whatever. And I'm like, you guys are cool after I stopped talking to her for what she said about you. Then there wasn't really a response. And I let that moment be uncomfortable, just to let her know, like, I don't really have to say it, but you're not the same type of friend that I am. You get what I'm saying, guys? So after that, kept doing my YouTube channel. Y'all, my content went crazy on social media. I was blowing up on YouTube. I got so many subscribers now from when that situation happened with me and her. It's not even funny. I have people engaging with my content. I have a lot of people saying that I've helped them through healing with ending long-term friendships, and that when they had to deal with friends ghosting them, and then later on they find out that this friend was doing this, that, and the third behind their back. Just really helping people who, because we all go through betrayal. When I'm on TikTok every day, I see a girl talking about, oh, this is why I don't have no friends. And that was me years ago. That was like my one good friend left out of just my cousin being my best friend. And even I have cousins who are fake as hell that I don't talk to. So it's just, I'm just thankful that with that, I was able to use that as a stepping stone to continue to build my content for the world to see that when you are being a pure spirit, God will elevate you and help you to use those lessons from those fake friends to elevate you in life. That betrayal will elevate you. That betrayal elevated me to have content to talk about, on top of the other things that I went through. But all of the betrayals I went through with fake friends have gotten me to where my channel is today. And it may have hurt at the time, but I'm thankful that it happened, because it's getting me to build my platform to where I want it to be, and to also help people who might not know about those signs. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna get into like the different things I've seen on TV that also, show this topic in real life, right? So the first story I want to get into is Basketball Wives. If you watch Basketball Wives, if you're familiar with it, then you might know where I'm kind of going with this. If you're not, I'll definitely try to be as in depth as possible while I get into this story with you guys. So, Malaysia Pargo and Brandy Maxiel, I think her last name's Maxiel. They were friends for a long time before they got on the show, and they ended up getting into it, and Malaysia decided that, this was someone that we saw Malaysia ride for numerous amount of times and just go all the way to the end for her friend. Like, pull up at events because she thought somebody was trying to fight her friend and she was just not going for it. And you know, I definitely think that she had Malaysia's back as well. But when I saw that situation, I just thought of myself because that's been me for a lot of people. And for Brandy to bring their business to the public like that over her taking out her issues from the divorce, allegedly, or whatever it is that she was going through, because she didn't really hear from her friend when her friend could have been going through something as well, to me just was kind of tasteless. And Malaysia stepped off the scene, and she got a peace of mind, because sometimes when God elevates you, it's not always just about making milestones and things like that. A peace of mind is a milestone. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that she has a lot of different things going for herself. She did get on a show right after that. And she's still trending on Instagram. She looks a lot happier. I saw one of her posts a few days ago and I was just like, wow, she looks like she's doing much better. You know, and as a grown woman, when you realize that someone isn't being the friend to you that you are to them, the best thing to do is to step off. And even if they're still thriving and successful in life, because Brandy's still on the show, but um, she's still being a bad friend. You know what I'm saying? In a recent episode, she threw a birthday party for Evelyn, but then she invites Evelyn's enemy there, and then she starts an argument with another girl over that girl's girlfriend, which is Tai Ming, at Evelyn's supposed to be birthday party that she's supposed to be throwing for her. You know, it's supposed to be about Evelyn, but instead she made it about herself. And I could just imagine how the friendship was with her in Malaysia if she would do something like that to Evelyn after offering for her to go to Vegas to have her birthday after finding out that her arch nemesis was having her wedding on her birthday. You get what I'm saying? These are the things that jealous girls do, and they don't stop at you. They will do it with every friendship that they have, as what I'm trying to show you guys, okay? So sometimes the elevation is, even though she's still in the show, she's still not a nice person. You get what I'm saying? So the elevation that Malaysia got is to not be around someone who would do something like that. Somebody who would, you know, make a mockery of a day that's supposed to be about you because of views and TV. You know what I'm saying? That's just not cool to me. And I don't believe in associating with women like that. I would have literally never ever spoke to her again after that day. Like never. Ever in my entire life. You got one time to show me that you're competing with me, or you're jealous of me, or you're trying to make a moment that's about me, about you. No. You know, and that was a scenario I wanted to point out to you guys. Another scenario would have to be when Tammy left Basketball Wives. Tammy left Basketball Wives because she was just over being ganged up on. Even though Tammy could hold her own, I just felt like in a lot of situations where Tammy was right, they still made Tammy be wrong. You know, that's just my perspective. I think all of the ladies are beautiful women, but that's my perspective when it comes to Tammy. When she left, she ended up getting her own show now. I actually worked behind the scenes on the of that show for Cheaters. Very nice show. She's doing her thing. I'm so happy for her. You know, she's looking good. She's doing good. She is still in her happy relationship. And all the women who had issues with her are still going through, you know, the same drama, the same toxic environment. You know, so that shows peace of mind and elevation that God gave her after going through that betrayal, right? And it's a lot of different scenarios like that that do play out on TV. I think there was one more that I had. So yes, the last scenario I want to talk about was the City Girls, right? I love me some JT. I love me some Young Miami in their lanes that they're in. JT, you know, I personally think that she's someone that, like myself, is a little more reserved, and she's not gonna fake and kiki with other people. just because of networking and things like that, right? And I think that when she pulled herself away from the city girls, she God elevated her. You know, I saw the Young Miami's interview, and I just felt like she kept like trying to attack JT because JT just didn't want to do the industry politics with her. That's just what I picked up on, you know. I never seen JT say nothing bad about her. When JT did her no bars, she still was repping the city girls. She still was talking highly, but she just knew that she didn't want to be around those girls who she was around because she felt like those girls were fake, and she's not gonna fake it for nobody. So you know, and when you're around other people and you start acting different, you definitely gonna act different with me. You know, the girls that get it, and I completely understood what JT meant by she kind of separated herself, and you know, she was still like having love for her homegirl, but you know, you could tell that there was a strain on the relationship because JT felt like she wasn't being real no more. That's what I picked up on. You know, and then when she went solo, she started doing her music. Her album did good. She was trending on TikTok. She did her City Cinderella tour. Like her music career really took off, you know, and that just shows you that even with the separation of friends, even if it's not, you know, public, or if it is public, God still will elevate you when you were being the real friend and you were being the pure spirit. You know what I'm saying? Those are just different scenarios on top of my two personal situations that I told you guys about, so that you can, you know, really see the how the dynamics play out in different ways, you know. So if you're not able to relate to what I went through, you might be able to say, okay, well, I had a friend who I was really really close with, like JT, but I felt like when she got around other people she was acting different. So I distanced myself, and then she started throwing shots at me because I distanced myself. And then now, not my career's taking off. I'm doing better. I'm actually doing a lot better as a solo artist. You get what I'm saying? That's what I mean, guys. When these situations happen, God will always elevate you after betrayal, as long as you were being a pure spirit with pure intentions. You know, have you ever been betrayed, or do you feel like one of your friends is fake right now? I urge you to not crash out. Just distance from them, or block, cut them off, cut ties. You know, if you're not strong enough to just observe and really pay attention and see what their intentions are. Um, and just let God guide you to a peaceful route. Because in that route, there will be blessings. From the two routes that I took when I chose peace, I got my marriage, my beautiful daughter. I got my channel where I can help people and I can talk about God. Two of my favorite things in the entire world. Okay? Um, and it's funny because whenever I would do these things with all of the friends that I've cut off, they will always talk negatively and talk down. So I'm glad that God started making my cutoff game be very strong, because had it not, I might not even be here making this channel for you guys. I might have had friends talking bad or negative onto my dreams. Okay, like it's real out here, guys. Fake friends are more common these days. It's very rare to have a real friend. Like, I remember I had said a couple years ago when I started really watching all of my friends, I was like, you know, I ain't never had a friend like me. And then I had someone who actually ended up being a snake to me comment. It was like, I guess we ain't friends then. I said, I guess we're not, because you don't move like me. None of them ever moved like me. None of them ever stepped like me how I stepped about them. Like, I still to this day have beef with girls over girls I don't talk to, y'all, because of how hard I step for them. None of my friends have beef with nobody over me, because I handle all of my beef by myself. You get what I'm saying? You just gotta laugh, guys. Like, and it's just funny because what I have now is something that all of them at one point, including me, we've all discussed wanting to have these things, be married, have kids, not be a statistic, you know what I'm saying? Not have kids and then my baby father's cheating on me, all of that. They God don't like ugly. A lot of these girls who betrayed me and hated on me, they ended up becoming that same statistic, and I ended up not becoming the statistic because I never had ill intentions towards these people. You know what I'm saying? And when you have an evil heart, you're going to get what you put out. That's how God works. If you want your life to change and you've betrayed people and done horrible things to people, that's something you got to take up with God. You know what I'm saying? You got to repent for that. You got to try to be a better person if you are the person that is the fake friend or the jealous friend. You got to work on that. You get what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't let what other people have make you think that God isn't going to bless you with something. You should never think that, guys. Like, it's crazy because I'm a person that always sees both sides of the coin, So it's like I still do have some empathy for the people who get jealous of their friends or whatever it is, because I know that they probably weren't taught love properly. They probably weren't, you know, they probably weren't in environments where they knew what genuine love was. And then when they are hurt so much, you come around them with your pure intentions and then they hurt you. You get what I'm saying? And then sometimes if we're not strong enough, we could turn into these people. We can turn into these people. Like turned like I've almost turned so wicked on some people for betraying me, because I was just like, I was good to you. I did not deserve that. Like, God told me I didn't deserve what some of these friends have done to me. But I still let it go and I gave it to God, and He brought me into my blessings, my peace. And He ended up leaving them in the situations that they wanted to happen for me. You get what I'm saying? And it was like it's so bittersweet when you a pure spirit, guys, because it's like you don't want that, because this is somebody that you once loved as a friend, as a family, as how like my heart is big, y'all. Like, when I love somebody, I love them for real. I will go hard for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it used to hurt me that my friends would be doing these things to me, because I'm like, yo, you know what God is going to do to you? Like, I got to pray for you now. Like, why would you do that to me? I've done nothing but wish you the best. When things was going bad for you, I was praying that things was going right for you. And you was praying that I never take off, that I never get off my feet, that I never do good things. And it's just like, I had to separate the love that I had for people with the fact that they did not love me. Okay? And a lot of times, guys, when God is trying to elevate you, He's going to show you who those people are, because He can't bless you when they're around. They will try to hurt you for your blessings. They will try to take what you have. They don't want to see you doing good. They do not. They do not, guys. They do not. And no matter how much you love these people, if God shows you these people do not wish you well, please, pure spirits, please get away from them. It's like it's not a joke out here. Some people get lucky where it's just they're jealous, they try to do something horrible to you, you move away from them, that's it. Some of these people become obsessed. Like, that's how my father was unalived, through jealousy that was overlooked. Okay? That's why I have real trauma behind this. That's why I tell people, like, if you pick up on that spirit, cut ties. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I've cut off aunts. I've cut off uncles. I've cut off grandparents. I don't care. If you're a snake, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't, because then you would try to harm me. And I'm over here trying to make sure that you don't even step on a stone. No. It don't work like that. It don't work like that, guys. It don't work like that. And it's like you're kind of stopping yourself from getting to that next point. Because as long as these people are around you, if God got something amazing for you, He can't put it in your lap until you are obedient to what they're doing. So sometimes when we don't listen, that's when what they start doing get grimier and get worse. And you're like, dang, this girl really hates me, or this guy really hates me. When did this happen? There were signs. There were signs. There were so many signs that you ignored. God showed you when you first met them, they was looking at you funny. You get what I'm saying? He showed you that they gave you a backhanded compliment that one time when it was about you, when it was your birthday, when it was your moment to shine. They redirected the sunlight off of you and put it on somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Like, there are so many signs that we ignore. I promise you, anyone that you don't talk to anymore because they were a fake friend, if you look back at that entire friendship, you will see that there were signs. They didn't just wake up one day and decide, oh, I hate this pure spirit person. Oh, they think they're better than me, I'm gonna ruin their life. No, they either felt that way in the beginning, subtly, and probably try to brush it off, you know, probably try to pray about it if they do believe in God. But that's the thing about jealousy, you know, when it consumes somebody and they don't have faith that God is going to do that for them, they really would try to make sure that there's nothing that's going to happen for you. And I'm that's why I make these videos, because like I'm telling y'all, I'm really a veteran in this stuff. I really have been through it with friends, y'all. Like, it's really crazy how these people operate out here. And this is also motivation too, that just let them go. Just cut ties, because at the end of the day, there's so many people on this planet. We don't know everybody, right? And let's just say you picked you might have picked a bad friend. I felt like the friends that I picked were definitely not, I shouldn't have limited myself once I made friends. You know what I'm saying? I should have still had other friends out there that I was building with and really picking who was the best. It's just like relationships. All right? And thank you guys so much for tuning in to this first episode of the podcast. I will be making another one next week. Probably at the same time. I will let y'all know. But thank you guys again for tuning in. God bless y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your life coach Diamond signing out.